Okay, it sounds like we're recording now. So thank you everyone for joining us for our Orientation and Mobility Clinic informational meeting. I'm Theresa Thomas, and I am with the Bluegrass Council of the Blind, and I'm part of a planning committee for the new Orientation and Mobility Clinic that we're putting together for Kentucky. And I'm going to turn the speech my phone real quick. And I want to welcome everyone for joining us. We have our committee members on the Zoom call with us tonight. We have some coming in from Louisville and from Lexington. And so we want to welcome them. We have Jennifer Roark from the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, Division of Blind Services. We have Dr. Justin Kaiser and Dr. Donna Lee from the University of Kentucky in the Visually Impaired Program. And we have Dr. Kevin McCormack from the Kentucky School for the Blind. And at this point, we have been the planning committee for these clinic and the workshops that'll be coming up. So I wanted to open it up if any of them wanted to say hello or welcome. If you guys want to say anything, go ahead, and then I'll kind of give an overview of what we're looking at doing here tonight.
I'd like to say something. This is Kevin McCormack. So hello, everyone. Glad you could make it tonight. I'm still pretty new to the state. I moved here a couple months ago. And actually just on my own. My wife and two boys were still up in Massachusetts, where we had been living for about 6 years. And so we've all moved down like just this week, and today we unloaded the trailer. So it's a pretty big physical labor. So though it feels good, glad to have a body to do that. So it feels good. But I'm in a new position at the School for the Blind for Kentucky. It's an O&M consultant for the state, AT as well, but I'm working on my certification in AT right now. But I've been a certified O&M person specialist since 2005. So I think I was, I'm pretty open to how to address the needs of O&M in Kentucky, since I'm still pretty new. I'd heard that there, especially areas away from big cities, are usually have more need for O&M instruction. There are needs in Louisville as well, so we just had to start thinking about like what are some ways that we can address this. So originally we thought about maybe doing multiple in-person kind of traveling clinics. Obviously that's going to be a lot of work. That, not to say it's definitely worth it, but since we're just getting started on it, we thought, well, let's get an idea of how to do this thing. So we're doing one this summer, and it'll be in Lexington. And so we're starting with this, and perhaps in the future we can expand and maybe have these clinics in different parts of the state. So that's a thought for now. But anyway, that's just for me. I'm still pretty new in this position, so I would be very open to learning any ideas you guys have for how to address the O&M needs in the state. Hopefully I'll always be, no matter how long I'm in this position, I'll always be open to those ideas, but still, that's kind of where I'm coming from. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Kevin. And we welcome you to Kentucky and to our little planning group that we had started. And we are so glad to have you and your experience to join our planning committee and to get involved, the students from the Kentucky School for the Blind, as well as all of the other students across the state of Kentucky that are in some, like you said, areas that are a little bit tougher to get some of that training. And maybe we can do some clinics in their area where they can join in and get a little extra training. And so welcome, and we're glad to have you. Jennifer, did you want to say anything or say hello? probably most everybody knows you or that's here with us today.
Yeah, I would say most people probably know me. I've been around for quite a while now. So we are, so Office for the Blind is, I'm sorry, years and years and years of saying Office for the Blind. Sometimes it still slips out. So Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. So we are, back in the swing of things. So we are open for business. So we are doing in-person or virtual visits, whatever you're comfortable with, except for O&M. I will not do O&M virtually, but we can certainly talk on the phone or meet virtually, for the first time and kind of figure out what your needs are. I'm currently nursing a other way, so I fell and broke my wrist a couple of weeks ago, so I'm recovering from surgery and all of that fun stuff. So I haven't done a whole lot of really far trips just yet, but those will be coming up. So right now I'm just kind of sticking to Lexington and surrounding areas. So until my wing heals up a little bit.
Okay, great. Now, with the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, how many orientation and mobility instructors do they have at this time in the state of Kentucky?
Right now we have two. We have myself and we have Diane Lonnie, who covers the Louisville and kind of surrounding area. So we are relying on contractors in other parts of the state, in Western Kentucky, and for students at the McDowell Center.
Okay. All right. And we'll kind of talk about that a little bit later too. So
yeah,
thank you. And Justin and Donna, did you guys want to say a little something here real quick and let us know where you all and what you're working on today?
Yeah, so I'm Justin Kaiser. I teach or run the Orientation Mobility Program at the University of Kentucky and also teach in the Teacher of the Visually Impaired Program. I've only been in Kentucky about 2 years now. We essentially have a brand new Orientation Mobility Master's Program, which we had 8 students just finishing up with their internships now that were a little bit delayed due to COVID. And we have 11 students that are currently kind of midway through their program right now. That's who we're meeting with currently. And we're right now at the Kentucky School for the Blind, and we've been doing kind of travel all around the city here. And I'm just kind of excited about this partnership and collaboration, because really trying to figure out how we can improve O&M services across the state and just getting people to be more involved. And certainly we have a lot of students that would be interested in providing services or different kind of clinic things like we are trying to set up. And I think it's just going to be really good as far as what we're going to be able to do with this. Donna, anything to add?
I have no voice.
I think Donna's
basically.
up to, she says ditto what he said.
Hopefully I
okay, Donna,
person.
Well, we hope you feel better soon, Donna, and we hope you get your voice back. I know that you've got a lot of work to do there in Louisville, and you're providing some really great training for your students, and we're grateful for that. We are so excited that the University of Kentucky is now offering the master's program in orientation and mobility. From my understanding, there's not a lot of schools across the country that offer that. From what I understand, we don't have enough orientation and mobility instructors in Kentucky or across the country to really, truly fill the need that we have now, not to mention the growing need we're going to have in the near future. as more and more seniors enter their golden years and experience age-related vision impairments and things like that. So to give everyone an idea of what we're trying to do here, we at the Bluegrass Council of the Blind work closely with these different agencies that are partnering here and other agencies. And from the needs assessments that we've seen and from talking with people in the community that have vision impairments, we've identified that learning how to use a white cane, learning just basic orientation and mobility skills has been an area that there's a real gap in services, and we want to do our best to help fill that gap. With the University of Kentucky beginning their orientation and mobility master's program, their students are needing practicum hours and internships. They need to work one-on-one with individuals, teaching them and training them under the supervision of a certified orientation and mobility instructor. And that was becoming an issue for them to be able to place them within Kentucky to do those. They're having to go outside the state. And so we thought, okay, so there's a gap in services of people needing this service. There's a need for this program to give their students hands-on practicum hours and working directly under a certified instructor. So let's put the two together and see if we can create a O&M. O&M is short for orientation and mobility. Just kind of put that out there because we use that term a lot. O&M Clinic that could provide some additional training for individuals and give the students some practicum hours and some direct instructional time with individuals. So that's kind of where we started. And it kind of began with Dr. Kaiser and Dr. Lee at UK. And we brought in Jennifer because she's here in Lexington and is kind of the local contact for adults with vision impairments looking for orientation and mobility instruction that they don't have to pay for through OVR. You can get this instruction for free once you open a case and begin a case with the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. But it does take quite a few steps to go through that process. And with them only having 2 instructors on staff in the state of Kentucky and 122 counties for them to cover, you can just imagine that it takes a while to get some of those services and for them to be able to really give the service needed to everyone to the degree that they need it. So the thought was to do a clinic, and then we thought, hey, if we can, this clinic might be able to offer workshops in not just the Lexington area, but take it to some other areas where it might be more rural and it's more difficult for OVR or even the contract O&M instructors to work with students in the school system. They might not be getting the amount of training that they're needing. So we in the future are going to try to take some of these to some other counties. And we're going to start July 31st with our first workshop here in Lexington, Kentucky. It will be on the University of Kentucky campus. And this one, I don't know if Justin wants to talk about it or Kevin, but they were doing the coordinating. So basically, the people that are experts in this, which would be the University of Kentucky and the School for the Blind and Jennifer, they're going to manage the curriculum and what's going to be covered and the instructors and providing students and certified instructors to work with the individuals. It'll be partly instructional, like a classroom setting with a 1-hour seminar. Then it'll be followed by some getting out and trying some of the techniques under the instruction of a trainer. And so we'll start the first hour for this one on July 31st is going to be on guide dog, working with a guide dog as a guide dog team. And then the second half of the day, we will provide lunch. And then the second half of the day is going to be on GPS, traveling and mobility with a GPS device. And I believe they're bringing in someone from Leader Dogs, and I was not involved in coordinating that. So I'll let someone else talk about that. If you all want to talk about that and kind of what we're expecting, and then once you all explain that for this upcoming first one, then we'll open it up for some questions and some input on what counties people would like to see this going to, other than maybe Fayette County and Jefferson County, and kind of get some ideas. The hope is that we will be able to provide these with different topics. So right now we're starting with GPS and guide dogs. The next time we do it, we might change the topic to basic orientation and mobility, depending on what the need is out there and what you all would like, what you see the needs as. We will definitely take that into consideration, as also including what the students are needing to work on with the university. So Justin or Kevin, do you all want to talk about the curriculum for the July 31st event?
I suppose I can get us started. Yeah, it was, like we've said, this is our first clinic. So it was difficult to figure out what is the best need for the people that are, going to sign up. And I think that will be better refined as we go. So I think Justin knows this person from Leader Dog, and they do a lot of clinics on as well, and they'll do a lot of trainings and get people familiarized. And since we were going to have, and you might be able to hear the thunder outside, it's kind of enlightening, but so I hope my internet stays on. But I just got distracted. But I'm just trying to say, like, we are looking. Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I got thrown off my thought train on this lightning that was like right near me.
If we could hear it pop, that was a little scary.
I know.
Are they going to bring dogs down with them?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And if
So
you, I'm sorry. I know you are.
sorry. We're also having thunderstorms here, but they are going to bring down dogs to kind of give some experiences and just to give people an idea of what it is like walking with a dog. Actually, 2 of my students here work for Leader Dogs and are adding on the orientation mobility certification, and they actually train the dogs that are going to be coming to Kentucky. So, it's really coming full circle. And Leader Dogs also has a program where they provide orientation mobility training up there and experiences with the Victor Reader Trek GPS devices. So that's what they're going to be bringing to the clinic and providing training with that device, as well as some experiences with the dogs and kind of just information about being a dog guide user.
Okay, great.
Well, I remember where my train was, where I was headed. As far as age group, because I'm working for this the department, the Kentucky Department of Ed, I'm supposed to focus on K to 12, and of course the OVR is more young adult, or basically after grade school and up ages. So we felt like the age group for this particular session is going to be 13 and up. So it's kind of a combination of what I'm supposed to be age group I'm supposed to be concerned about, and what OVR would be concerned with. So oftentimes, this is a good age group to start getting familiar with how to use guide dogs. So that was one thought on why we went that direction. And a lot of people are interested in GPS and the use of, apps and getting around, and that's a common thing that people are interested in, want to know more about. It's a constantly developing field. So we figured some folks would be interested in that. And, that I think like what Justin said was that this representative from Leader Dog from the dog guide school, they are able to cover both those courses for the day. So yeah, that was just kind of behind the thinking of why we selected those topics.
Okay.
I was just going to add, I have had, I think, at least 6 or 7 of my students, or the ones that are kind of going through internship, are planning to be there as well to kind of assist with these experiences, and they'll be kind of getting some of those clinical and hands-on experiences through the clinic. So I think that'll really work towards some of the goals we were setting for this too.
Okay, great. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just the last hour of the day. I don't remember if you said this yet or not, Theresa, is going to be an optional time for the students with their families or friends to have some basic O&M training together, or that, can kind of see some human guide techniques, basic cane techniques, that kind of thing. So it's just an hour, but just kind of a way to, it's away from the guide dog and the GPS and more just straight ahead O&M type teaching. So that's in the work, and that's an optional last hour.
Right. Thank you. I had not mentioned that. So thanks. Did you all have any other input for explanation of kind of what to expect for July 31st? Okay. Well, the Bluegrass Council of the Blind, our kind of input on this, we are not experts by any means in orientation and mobility, but we do see a lot of need with the people we work with. And so we're being involved to help to try to facilitate, coordinate. We're offering our location for some of it, and we're going to be working with the committee to also help with some of the fundraising to get funding to be able to take this to other counties. That's going to be a little bit of cost involved there, and providing lunches, since it is a full day of training. So that's kind of our part, and getting the word out and coordinating things like this to inform people and get people registered. So given that, we will go ahead and open it up for questions. And if you would like to ask a question or give feedback on what types of instruction you would be interested in, or someone that you know of would be interested in, please feel free to share that. And also, if you're in an area outside of Fayette County or Jefferson County and you would like to see one of these clinics come to your area, let us know what county that would be, and we could definitely take a look at what our options would be for doing that. So if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself and state your name and ask your question, we'll open it up.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm a member at the Bluegrass Council. And I guess my question is, I understand that it's just kind of the first session that the planning has been focusing on, but can you comment on whether, I mean, there seriously are intentions for doing the basic O&M, is that right? Because that's what my need would be. And I hope everything's not going to be too advanced for, for me. I really need some basics and just where I'm coming from. So, the population that I think perhaps I represent some of the population at the Bluegrass Council is that I'm in my late 50s. I have low vision, but have been having progressive, continuing vision loss over the last couple of years and more recently too. And so I'm very interested in, I want to think positively, but I also want to be prepared if I have to face worse vision than I already have. I'm doing things like practicing getting the dog food together with my eyes closed. See what I mean? So basic O&M is really what my interest would be. And I just wanted to hear some comments from the organizers and committee about their commitment to that.
So
Okay. Go ahead.
Sorry, Theresa. I was just gonna say, so I think this first clinic or kind of workshop that we have set up, I mean, generally it's gonna be focused on the basics of the GPS and the dog guide information, but certainly the plan that I kind of have in mind going into this and what I would like to also do in the future is also kind of focus on the really basic O&M and kind of standard O&M skills and instruction. That's what ultimately I would also like my students and interns to get experience with, is working with individuals with visual impairments and kind of working with them on a more consistent basis to provide that instruction for whatever your kind of needs or focus might be. So I certainly think that's something that we would like to do in the future, and it might just take a little bit to figure out how to make that work, and just whatever we need to do through the university to also kind of set up that kind of program.
Thanks, Justin. And I'll just add to that. We definitely have talked about that, and I, from the BCB standpoint, have advocated for some real basic training, as well as what we're doing here with the guide dog and the GPS. And to be completely honest with you, we wanted to bring in Dr. McCormack and his expertise to help us get this started. And to do that, we needed to kind of be able to focus on ages 13 through the end of high school age. And for those age range, they usually, most of them have had some basic training. And this was an area that would be of interest and use to them more so than the basic training. So to be completely honest, to get Kevin involved and where, because of being part of the Kentucky educational system, he needs to focus on that age group. That's kind of why we're starting where we are. It probably sounds kind of backward to start with more advanced, but to get him involved and to kind of help us and get targeted, that's where we started. And we definitely do understand there's a need for more basic, and we really do hope to be able to provide that in the near future. But that's kind of why we're starting where we're at. And that's kind of why we're having this meeting too, is to let people know we really hope this isn't the only one we have. We hope to make this an ongoing thing. In my mind, the way I kind of look at it is that this is an orientation and mobility clinic, which will offer future workshops in other areas. Sometimes we refer to them as clinics or workshops, but we do hope to continue this, especially if we can get additional funding to, we currently have 30 white canes that we can provide. So for those people that are new to orientation and mobility and do not even own a white cane for navigation, the Bluegrass Council of the Blind secured a grant to purchase 30 of those. So we have those available in various sizes and are hoping to be able to secure more funding to be able to take this to other counties and put together a variety of different topics for the different clinics or workshops and give people different levels of training. So I hope that helps answer the question there for you, Chris. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, and I'm sorry,
Okay.
it's Chris again. Yeah, I understand that. I am wondering though too, I mean, the participants in the clinic we've talked a lot about the instructors and the students being students who are going to be teaching
Mhm.
to vision impaired and blind individuals. But where are the sorry, the visually impaired and the blind people coming from? Who's going to be there? I mean, because this is not just a Bluegrass Council of the Blind event, right? Yeah.
Right. You are exactly right. We are putting this out across the state. We're trying to get the word out to anyone that works with people that have vision impairments at any age, any level. We know that there's a need at all age levels, and the students at the University of Kentucky with the O&M program are going to need some hands-on with all different types of settings, age groups. Right now, the people that are registered for the July 31st, it's a range. The majority of them are Bluegrass Council of the Blind clients, but there are a couple that are from outside the organization. The university, Dr. McCormack, Jennifer, the other counselors from OVR in the state of Kentucky are sharing this and getting the word out. We do still have space available for a few more people to sign up. So right now it's looking at, I think we have 7 people registered right now. 5 of them are from the Bluegrass Council and 2 are, I believe, from more of the student Fayette County. Well, no, one's from Jefferson County Public Schools, but it's still open to have some more. But that's kind of what we're looking at for this first one.
Theresa, I have a comment. This is
Sure, Theresa.
You said you just wanted us to have some input on what other counties. Okay, I'm in Simpson County, which is right down on the Tennessee line, but I'm a member of South Central Kentucky Council of the Blind, which serves the 10-county area. So there's 10 counties around the Warren County area, which Bowling Green would be your hub. So I think there's 4 to 6 people that are interested in the Warren County area, if that gives you any indication as to the interest in our area. And I would be interested in basic and maybe intermediate, because I have just now started some cane training with the council I've been waiting for 2 years. I started yesterday, actually.
Oh, congratulations. Good.
Yeah, we had 2 hours. Make it 2 hours next week, maybe. I don't know. His schedule's pretty full, but I'm excited to hear about this. And if there's any way I can find a way to get to Lexington on the 31st, I might try to do that, but I'll let you know in the next week or so.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Kenny has his hand up.
Kenny, do you want to go ahead and do *6 and unmute?
Sure, Theresa. I wanted to thank you all for offering these classes, the seminar, and to let you know a little bit about me. I am in my 50s, born blind, and I am an advanced cane user. I recently have been exposed to GPS and navigational apps, and I find them intriguing and incredibly useful. So when this seminar was offered and I saw that the Victor navigational device was being instructional teaching was being offered concerning it, I said I wanted to get involved. My question is, how involved will the instruction be with the Victor navigational GPS?
So
Go
I
ahead.
think I can answer that as well. I mean, I think we're going to try and provide as much information as we can in some hands-on experience, just getting used to the device and kind of how the different features that it has, and just trying to show what it is capable of. There's certainly limits in what we can accomplish in such a short time. So this will definitely be more of an introduction and just trying to provide more of an awareness, but we still will get out and actually traveling and using it in real environments.
Wonderful. Where can I purchase one?
I think so it's a product from Humanware, and I believe it's also available from, did we just order from MaxiAids? Okay, yeah, we just bought a couple for the O&M program through MaxiAids. There's also a representative from Humanware that I can refer people to. He works typically in the Louisville area. So there's different options, and that's certainly information I can provide for people that are interested.
Justin, you still have my number, right?
I think so. At the very least, I have your email.
Okay. Can you send me that contact information either via text or email?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
No problem.
Kenny, also the American Council of the Blind National Conference is coming up beginning July 18th. And I believe Humanware will have a vendor booth, and they may be running some specials. So if I run across any of that, I'll share that with you too.
I appreciate that.
Sure. Is there anyone else that might have a question or comment?
Oh, just to add, I'm pretty sure actually the Humanware rep that I had mentioned, I think he is probably going to be at the clinic as well. So essentially he is one of my O&M students. So I think he's going to be there at the clinic too.
Oh, is that Brian?
Yeah, that's Brian.
Oh, okay. Kenny, I can text you that information later tonight if you want. I have Brian's contact information. So, but he'll also be there at the clinic. So
That'll be great. Thanks, T.
sure. Does anyone else want to add any information or ask a question?
Theresa, I just want to say something to Chris.
Sure, Jennifer.
So we have basically two programs. So we have the vocational aspect of OVR for individuals that are wanting to work, but we also have the independent living program, and that's for individuals that they're not wanting to work, but they're wanting to be able to stay independent in their homes, and that includes O&M. So, if that's something that you're interested in, then, we can always, make a referral to one of our IL counselors. Well, actually, if you're in Lexington, then that would be Jenny Ward. So you would have to open up a case with us before I would be allowed to see you. But, that is definitely a possibility. And we do have a new phone number, by the way. So now that we are all integrated, it is 226-2185. So it is the main OVR number. And
226 or 246?
246. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to it myself.
246
2185.
2185.
Yes. And so once you call, the receptionist will, route it to the right person. So she's still getting used to this. This happened while we were on the pandemic, while we were all home. And so suddenly we got back to the office and it's like, bam, you have a new phone number. And you have to be writing these calls to different people that you don't even know. So, so this is all still kind of new for us. So, bear with us, but if you're interested in that, then, give us a call.
Okay, thank you. So just to clarify, she would call
Yes, thank you very much.
the 246-2185 and ask for independent living with Jenny Ward and
Yes.
open space to get and ask for orientation and mobility training in the independent living program.
Yes.
Okay, great. Since we're recording this, I want to make sure that other people know that they can do that. And that's in the Fayette County area.
In surrounding counties. So
And counties. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Any other information to be shared before we wrap this up? Any more questions? *6 to unmute if you are on a phone line. I'm not sure if everybody knows that. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. I want to thank all of our guests for being here and asking questions. I want to thank the committee members for being here. Justin and Donna in the middle of your training there in Louisville, Jennifer for joining us from Lexington, and big thank you to Kevin for joining us on his moving day and taking time out to inform us and answer some questions. We're going to go ahead and close this down for tonight, but we will put this up. The Bluegrass Council of the Blind has a YouTube page, and this will go up in the next few days, well, probably Monday. We did have some people want to be able to listen in, so we will add that there. And I will send that link out to those that attended and those that had requested it and the committee members if they want to share that. We do still have a few spaces available for July 31st, but we will be cutting off registration as of July 16th. So, or if it fills up before then. So if you have not registered and you would like to, there is an online form. And all you would need to do is call the Bluegrass Council of the Blind. We can direct you to that link, or we can also complete that form for you over the phone. We have staff that would ask you those questions and fill it in for you. The council phone number is 859-259-1834. Again, 859-259-1834, or you can email us at info@bcbky.org. And if you have any other questions for the committee members, you're welcome to reach out to them directly or direct them to the info box and we will forward it on to them. Thanks again, everybody, for your time tonight. And that'll conclude our information session.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Theresa.
Thank you.